I want to talk to you today about the wound you never knew you had and why and how it's secretly controlling your life. And if you want the long version, by the way, I'm just uploading it now on YouTube, but here's the short version. If you are somebody, let's say you have already done all the mindset work and therapy and meditation and visualization and ayahuasca and weekend retreats and personality, that's right, personality profiling and coaching, self-development work, business coaches, you did all the stuff, right? And you still feel stuck or broken, or you still have anxiety, or you keep second guessing yourself, or you feel like an imposter, or maybe you still apologize even though it doesn't make sense that you should be apologizing, but somehow you do, or you're still a people pleaser, or you still feel guilty when you don't work. And of course, this comes in many shapes and forms. But basically, you're still stuck with maybe anxiety, an unwanted behavior, some kind of an addiction, sugar cravings, emotional eating, you name it. And by the way, hint, hint, all those things I just mentioned are the symptoms of a deeply rooted problem. So, it's not that those things don't work. All the things I mentioned, they're actually brilliant and they're amazing, right? Connecting with your angels and doing the sound bath healing and, Reiki and EMDR and all those things, they are phenomenal, but they cannot work. The reason they are not working, they cannot work if this is what's happening. If your conscious and subconscious mind are in conflict with each other, no matter what you do, it's not going to work. And you're not going to gain the self-confidence and the inner peace and the fulfillment. And you're not going to still that emptiness and that void inside of you. So what does that even mean? The conscious and the subconscious mind being, I know, like I said, I went deep on that other video, but in a nutshell, I'm going to describe it like this. We're all born perfect, right? Bright, beautiful, right? I mean, a baby, it's like there's no fault on a baby. And the baby feels worthy and excited and can't wait to get into life, right? And then all of a sudden something shifts, something changes, because what changes? Well, basically our self-confidence gets knocked out of us and our trust we have within ourselves. There's many, many things that happen because there are lots and lots of experiences where we might have been told something like, you're not good enough, you're too dramatic, don't be so emotional, what's the big deal, it's just a dog, calm down, don't be a baby, things like that. Or you had a good grade in school and you're told, don't you dare outshine your siblings, or you can't be the pretty one or the smart one, or something like that, right? Very, very convoluted experiences, by the way. But the worst part about this is that even though you felt certain things that were absolutely real and absolutely true, you were not allowed to feel and speak on behalf. And so now basically you learn to suppress those emotions, which in quickly what that means is that you stopped trusting yourself, which was not a pleasant experience. That literally is what caused the disconnection you had with you. Plus, you learned that the adults around you also can't be trusted because it doesn't feel good to be around them, because it made you feel unseen, unheard, and misunderstood. And what that will cause, no, you were not just ignored, you were not just neglected, you were not just abandoned, you were not just silenced, you were not just disrespected. This goes much, much deeper. Because what this will cause in your subconscious, because it's the subconscious mind that controls our behaviors, our beliefs, our emotions, our imagination, our behaviors, our actions, right? It goes deep into the subconscious mind. And the idea that goes deep is, I am not good enough. I am not worthy. And if in your subconscious mind there's a deeply rooted belief that you're not worthy, there's no amount of therapy, there's no amount of mindset work, there's no amount of meditation, visualization, affirmation, will help you, because there is an inner incongruence, there's an inner conflict, and this is so often unbeknownst to you and unbeknownst to all these people that want to help you. That's why those things haven't worked the way you want. And I've been I'm like, what's going on here? Why is it that when people finally come to work with me, they tell me, I've been to therapists, I've been to psychologists, I've been to psychiatrists, I've been diagnosed, I've been probed, I've been prodded, I've done everything they told me to do, and I did all the work. And just, I still feel broken. I still feel stuck. Now I know why. Because all of those attempts, again, it's not all these people work amazingly hard. They are amazing coaches and therapists and doctors and specialists. They are trained a certain way. They are trained to do what they do. Most of what they do communicates with the conscious mind. What I do is we get right to the source. I'm interested, yes, what are the symptoms? What sucks in your life? What's the problem? How is that a problem? How is that hurting you? How is that hindering you? How is that, causing you to second guess yourself and people pleasing and, all these things, right? How is that causing you anxiety and self-doubt and fear and limitations and inadequacy, which was my favorite, right? I felt inadequate for so long until I learned this. And now I understand why this works, and it works relatively fast, because what we ultimately want to do is we want to get the conscious and the subconscious mind in alignment with each other. And the only way we can do that is by going to the root cause, understanding, wait a minute, child, you might be an adult right now, what actually happened? What happened for you to create this emptiness, this disconnection, this void? Because that's what you're experiencing. Ultimately, what you are experiencing is that you have stopped trusting yourself. And listen, we're born with a powerful navigational system. It's called the mind-body connection. It's logic and emotion working together. And what we have been taught is most likely to only listen to logic and to push the emotion aside. So there's a huge piece missing, because the subconscious is the emotion. The conscious is the logic. So can you see how this might just cause a couple of problems? And so basically, this is what I tell my clients. Our job on this, if you want it, if you let me, if you're open to it, our job is to help you reclaim who you really are. Underneath all of that stress, underneath the conflicts, underneath the stories, underneath, all of those ways that have hurt you. Because the real you is there. It's just buried underneath all of these false realizations, conclusions. As Jonathan Parker, I love him on YouTube, follow him. I really, really appreciate his teachings, learned a lot from him. But as he says, everything we learned is just a conclusion. It's just an opinion. And unfortunately, a lot of these opinions have hurt us because they're what caused the I'm not good enough idea. But you can change that. So I hope this makes sense, and I hope this takes the frustration out of why all these things haven't worked. It's not that they're not good. They are. They're brilliant. They're amazing. But they can only work when the conscious and the subconscious mind are in alignment. Now that meditation is going to take you to a whole different. Hope this makes sense. Let me know what questions you have. If you want more, you know where to reach me.